The Dom Life Podcast presents Real Talk,
a BDSM Back to Basics mini-series intended for listeners 18 and older.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Real Talk.
It is so good to be back after that short break.
Yeah, we did have to take a little bit of a break due to the lovely seasons of Kentucky. We've kind of experienced a little bit of everything all rolled up into 24 hours pretty much.
Flooding, snow, ice.
It has been crazy.
It's been crazy. So many NTI school days.
Yes. So we are coming back to you with another episode here. And tonight we discuss...
Remember who you came with.
Exactly. And from our perspective, this is what we have noticed. This is what we have seen, and it's kind of what we have communicated amongst each other for living this kind of lifestyle. So we want to kind of give just a little bit of guidelines of some do's and some don'ts. And
things to look out for.
Yeah, to look out for, to communicate with your partner, because we don't like seeing people come into the lifestyle, whether it be BDSM or the swing lifestyle, and have issues and split up and go their separate ways.
And I'm seeing that often enough that it's a concern.
Yes, it is. It's a lot. So we've kind of got just a little bit to talk about here as far as remembering who you came with, because it can be extremely fun. It can be bringing you closer together in your relationship if it's done the right way.
Yes.
And it can be an amazing time. You meet such wonderful friends.
We have been extremely blessed in that area.
We have.
And it's fun. It is I never thought I'd be here at this point in my life.
Right.
And it's amazing.
I mean, it's been a dream come true. I mean, as a guy, and I'm going to speak for most guys. I mean, most guys would love to go somewhere where they see tits and ass all night long.
I get to see more tits than pretty much anybody I know.
Yeah, I mean, and you do.
You know,
except
the people we hang with.
Right. So
within
going back to BDSM side, dominants are not real easy to find.
Not good ones, not real
Right.
men and women who stand up, who are part of a relationship. It's really hard to find good dominance.
It is. You will find people that will say they're dominants, and some are true to that. Some do come through and are the respectful, follow boundaries, follow rules, sets guidelines, and does all that. But you will find a lot of flakes.
And you may find dominants that don't want relationships.
Right.
So we're talking when you're in a relationship, being a dominant, it's a good thing.
Yes, it is. And when you find one, especially one that knows your wants, your needs, your boundaries, your hard limits, and is willing to compromise and come up with a plan and set guidelines and boundaries along what you're both wanting, and you find a way to make that work, it's not very likely you're going to find another that will fit that well.
Exactly. But being a good dominant means, at least in our relationship, means you get a lot of women on the cross.
I do.
Beautiful,
I do.
young.
Oh, absolutely beautiful, young.
Stunning bodies.
Oh, my God.
All chained up on your cross, sir.
Yes. And that is an amazing part for me because I love it. But I don't look at them in that way. I see them. I see they're naked. I focus on their ass because that's where a lot of the implements go to, the floggers, the spanking, the paddling, all that. So I'm focused on their ass, but I'm not looking at it as
a potential replacement for me.
Right. And I don't do it that way. For me, it is getting somebody up there that is curious, or somebody that is interested, or somebody that just wants to try it. And I take it as an educational part of me.
And you always try to bring in their partner if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
interested. And there's some that like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
And
there's
you're like,
plenty of 'em.
okay, you're okay with me doing it. Then that's
Yep. But I don't look at them as somebody that would replace Lady D. That thought never crosses my mind when I have somebody up there. The thought that goes through my mind is, okay, I want to make sure they enjoy this. I want them walking away from this, going to their partner saying, oh my God, let's start experimenting with this. Let's start trying this. That is my end goal with all of them.
There are some dominants. If you're getting people on the cross on a regular basis,
It could be
at
tempting.
these events, that it could be that they're considering that they could have all that.
Yep.
Maybe this relationship isn't perfect because at home you have arguments, you have fights, you have whatever stressors that are going on.
Yep.
But finding somebody while you're with your partner isn't right. And one of the things is, if you're playing on the cross, you don't know anything about that person.
You do not. You guaranteed you're going to have your fights and your arguments. That comes with relationships, period. You're going to have your disagreements. You're going to have your little spouts. That's part of life, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen to everybody.
So not necessarily grass is greener on the other side. You're just borrowing different fights and arguments
you're
and
going
discussions.
From one aspect to another, but there will be downsides to every relationship. I don't know of a relationship out there that has not had an argument, has not had a fight or a falling out. And it takes, once again, the communication to be able to overcome that and to get to where you need to be in your relationship.
And so you and your partner agreed to this lifestyle, agreed to the dominant submissive, or agreed to the swinging lifestyle. So now you've got that aspect in your life. And if you're looking outside of your current relationship without communicating this to your relationship,
right,
it's a problem.
It is. So one thing to keep in mind, if one of you is interested in this, or both of you are interested in this, you have to set guidelines. You have to sit down and come up with, and you're not going to know.
Oh no, we've hit it.
Day one.
Exactly.
What to expect. So one thing that we've talked about before, and we really didn't implement it because we really haven't come across that, is we use safe words in BDSM. Have a word for when you're out in public that will trigger for your partner to stop what they're doing or whatever and to go somewhere and to talk, because you're not going to know what rules and what boundaries to set day one.
Right.
It's not going to
You're
happen.
learning, and you might talk about your boundaries, but they change during situations. We had some things set up that haven't really come into play, but you have to adjust it because our relationship is different.
Right.
And so we revisit it and communicate it on those topics on a regular basis.
So one thing to do when you are ready to get started is find out what you know you would not be comfortable with your partner doing. And a good thing to do would be to write it down. Write everything down, write what your boundaries are, share that with your partner, take their boundaries, write it down. Both of you have written down, typed out, printed out, so that you is a constant reminder.
And you can revisit it.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
that one person, because I do hear, and I see this on social media all the time, where somebody said, we set up all these boundaries, we agreed to these things, and my partner is doing XYZ outside of our agreed list or our agreed activities.
Yep.
At which point, now it's time to revisit that.
Yes.
If you had it written down, now you could show them.
This is where we was at. Do we need to make alterations? And it is the exact same as contract negotiations.
Yes.
There's going to be some things one partner wants that the other partner is not willing to give up on. So that's where you negotiate and say, okay, well, can I do this? Or, you're okay to do this.
If you want to be in the relationship,
right,
then you need to be open to communication on these topics.
Yep.
If you just draw your line in the sand and say, I'm not I'm drawing my line, and I'm going to step all over that line because I don't care, the other partner's doing that, then you guys need to talk about really where you are at in your relationship. You don't even need to be
getting into a lifestyle event in that case, because it is a lot of give and take there, and it takes some getting used to. And when we started out a little over 3 years ago with ours, we kind of imagined what it would be like, and we set our own rules. And before we went to our second trip out to the club, we was already changing up. Okay, so I'm okay with this, and maybe I'm not okay with that. So it is a constant evolving document that should be looked at prior to any event that you want to go to.
Yes.
To make sure you're still okay with what you've said is good, and your partner is okay with what they've said is good as well.
Now, the next part of this is, man, we're going to the club, baby.
Hell yes.
We are going to go to the club tonight. And guess what? You're going to see more tits and ass in one night than you have seen in the last 20 years.
Right. My whole life, pretty much, yes.
And beautiful women and lots of available things. So here's the thing. We've agreed to this. We're going together. And those are all wow factors. But you have to remember you're going home with me.
Right.
And if you are looking at them thinking they're better, well, they got all dressed up too.
Oh, you are seeing them pretty much at their best.
Yes.
They are dressed up. They're hot looking.
They're ready to party.
They're dancing. They're energetic. They're friendly. They're smiling because they're there to meet.
Oh, and they've had
friends.
some drinks maybe.
Yeah. So, the nervousness is gone. You are pretty much seeing them at their best in life.
Yes.
And it is great. It is amazing to meet these people like this. But you've also got to keep in mind, they're not there looking to leave their partner for you.
Right.
They're there to make friends and to have a good time and to maybe explore and experiment with other people or try different things that they've agreed with their partner to do. So if you go there intentionally looking for another partner, more than likely you're not going to find one, because most people that are there are secure in their relationship and they follow their rules that they have made with their partner. But they're going to be hot looking. They're going to be sexy. The men are going to be dressed up. The men are going to have collared shirts and suits and all of this. And you're going to think, wow.
But do they fit in your life?
Right.
Will they, if you brought that person home tomorrow or continued meeting with them, meeting up with them, maybe doing it on the side, maybe not telling your spouse or your partner,
it's not going to work.
How would you even know that you're seeing them at their best? You don't know what their worst is.
Exactly.
You know your partner Master Nick, let's be real. You've seen me at my best. You've seen me at my worst.
Same here.
But we do it together.
Right.
And we always do it together. Now, I'm not judging. There are relationships that are failing.
Yes.
But maybe let's not use lifestyle as an escape.
Correct.
Let's not use the lifestyle as, we're going to fix our relationship.
Yep. I've seen it. I've been there and I've done it myself. To be in a relationship that isn't quite working and, you're just not happy and you're looking for something to bring you both together. And one of the first things is, a threesome, bringing somebody in, or going to a lifestyle event. And I'm here to tell you, I don't know of any that's been on a rocky relationship
that doing that fixes
it. It just doesn't happen that way. It doesn't work that way. So although the lifestyle is great, it is fun. It can be probably one of the best times you've ever had in your life.
It has been.
You have to make sure that you remember who you're with, the agreements that you all have made and going in with this and living your best life with them.
That's exactly it. God, I love you.
Yep.
That is exactly it. Live our best life together.
Yes. And that's what it takes. Again, I could preach this all day. It is great. And some of our most closest friends we have met through the lifestyle. And it is amazing to not only hang out with them at the club or at lifestyle events or at our house. I mean, there has been, the girls of the group have taken girls trips to a winery.
Yes.
And have enjoyed a day with each other. There was no playing. There was nothing sexual. It was just talking. It was getting more familiar with your friends, their likes, their dislikes, and just hanging out and enjoying each other's company.
That was one of the things we talked about a couple of times, is whether or not how to do social events before we had social events. Are you okay with me going out with this couple or that? And we've really come such a long way with our group of friends because they're our community.
Right.
And we've made such a big difference in our world, but we trust each other and we recognize that we're who we want to be with. There's no red flags in our relationship.
No.
And because if something pops up that one or the other of us gets uncomfortable, the first thing we do is open our mouths and say, hey, this was not quite what we thought it would be.
Exactly. So if there's ever a doubt, if you ever need to get on social media and ask strangers' opinions of, is this a red flag? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, more than likely,
it's a red flag.
It is.
At which point you need to approach your partner directly, regardless of the repercussions of this, because otherwise you're just not going to be in a happy relationship. Right. Whether that's a normal relationship, vanilla, BDSM, swingers, if you have questions and concerns, you better start talking to your partner about it.
And there is times to where it just doesn't work out.
Correct.
And if that's the case, that's the case. If you both come to an agreement, you're both unhappy and you can't find a way of fixing it. I mean, it sucks. Been there, done that. You have to as well.
Yes.
That, if you can't find a mutual ground that you both can live happily on, then that is the time to cut ties and do some soul searching to find out what you need in life and start looking for that. But always remember, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Correct.
It may just be fertilized with bullshit. And with that, thank you for listening. Stick around. We've got more to come.
Good night.